Venezuela is getting worse, according to some new data, and today we are going to discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
Today we are going to be discussing the results from a poll made by a firm called Mega Analysis. This firm, they do a good job, but they are very biased against the Venezuelan government, and of course, I understand why. But what happened is that this particular polling firm, economic firm, analytic firm, is mostly used for politics rather than economics. And well, before going to the review, we are going to discuss their latest results. So this particular poll was made last month, I believe, and it was made amongst a population of 10,000 Venezuelans. So the first result is they had a question, and the first one is how much an average Venezuelan needs in order to make ends meet. And the results went from $280 to $1,500. And the average is $489 per household. With this particular result, I agree, not 100%, but yeah, that's kind of the number around 400. They have a range from on average between $489 to $480 per household. That's the minimum in order to make ends meet for a household. And actually, on this particular regard, I agree strongly. The second question is, in economic terms, how do you evaluate the public services? And they're very bad. And according to their finding, 0.4% of people thought that they are excellent. 5.7% of people found the services were good. 21.8% think they are regular. And 72.1% they think they are flat out bad services. And well, the issue is, of course, the public services in Venezuela are very, very cheap, the utilities. And what I will say, frankly, they are not good, I have to say, so I have to be responsible of that. However, they are very cheap, so the ROI, maybe you can consider that. And of course, it has been a terrible performance by the administrators of these public services on the past. It was pretty bad, and hence we have very lackluster services in Venezuela. So I kind of agree with these results as well. The other question that I have here is, what is the biggest wishes for the Venezuelans that they were on this poll? The Maduro and Chavismo leave the country over 80%, 80.8%, and I understand why. I think it's kind of accurate. The approval rating, according to the data that I received, that I read, is around them. The approval rating is around 20%, something like that. And according to this particular poll, that Maduro keeps their the remaining power is only 9.8% according to this particular poll. And let's say, I don't completely disagree with that. It's kind of on that ballpark. Maduro, I have to say, is not popular within the Venezuelan population. Now, according to the poll, other question is, leaving Venezuela, the Venezuelans want to leave Venezuela. According to the poll, 39.6%, they apparently don't want to leave the country. 45.9%, they actually are thinking of leaving the country. And around 15%, they don't want to leave the country. They don't know if they want to leave or stay in the country. So right now, the trend, the sentiment regarding migration, at 2017, it was like 80% wanted to leave the country. And right now, that has been diminishing. The standards of living in Venezuela have improved mildly. I'm talking for the average population, especially the more impoverished population, have improved a little bit, but still way far. Right now the country is very expensive. However, now they are getting a lot of report from abroad, and the rest of Latin America, the situation is not better. And the United States, well, there is a lot of turmoil, but still, I have to say, of course, the United States has better standards of living regarding economics and income compared to Venezuela, of course. But after that, it's not as much. So the feedback from Venezuela's abroad is getting negative and negative and negative. So less people right now want to migrate, want to leave the country compared to a few years, but still a significant chunk of the population still are thinking about leaving the country. This is a staggering number. Any family member already migrated on a particular household, and according to the poll, 96.7% of people say yes. Some family member already left the country, migrated, and I mean, I wasn't expecting such staggering number, but I was expecting something like 70%, something like that. But yes, I mean, a significant part of the Venezuelan population already left the country, 7 million people, and only 3.3% of the population of the poll said they don't have a member that already is abroad. This is a very interesting one for those that say that Venezuela is socialist. I already mentioned a bunch of times. In Venezuela, we don't have socialism. We have crony capitalism since, let's say the past 6-7 years. Very good. This question says, your opinion regarding socialism. And 87.1% hate socialism. Only 9.2% are pro-socialism, so they are socialists. So this is a staggering number, and yes, I agree 100%. Most of the Venezuelan population hate the word socialist. Now, regarding the voting preference, right now we are on an electoral year, and this is a very big question. And they say that 71.8%, according to this poll, wants to vote for Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader that has been legally unhabilitated in order to participate on the election. And only 7.9% of the population within the poll wants to vote for Maduro yet again. And well, with this number, I have my issues. I know Maria Corina is very popular. However, most of the Venezuelan population are agnostic regarding politics. So I know that Maduro has a very low approval rate and voting sentiment and voting intentions. However, I don't see the spread as big. This is just my opinion. But according to this particular poll, I'm just mentioning the numbers. Maduro is very, very unpopular compared to Maria Corina Machado. The way that I see it, I mean, just my particular take, what I see here in Venezuela, is that most of the population are tired both from the opposition and the Chavismo. The Chavismo is very unpopular in Venezuela. However, it's not like the rest of the population wants to vote for the opposition leaders. Now, Maria Corina Machado, I have to say, is the member of the opposition that has more positive view for the population. However, they still don't like the rest of the opposition leaders. Now, the final question, there are more questions, but this is just for the time that I have, I'm going to mention, is that how is the opinion regarding the performance of the United States government regarding the Venezuelan issue? And 75.4% says it was bad. So even in Venezuela, the United States government is not very popular, especially the Biden administration. And only 8.3% of the Venezuelan population, according to this poll, says that they have the performance of the United States has been good. So that says it all. The Venezuelan population, according to this poll, they don't like the performance of the U.S. overall. Now, final words for this particular story. I respect the people that made this particular story. However, they have a political bias. And of course, when you do a poll in Venezuela, most of the sentiment is negative towards the local government. And that's something that cannot be, is beyond discussion. However, when you see these particular polls, usually there are like 10 or 20 of these particular firms, those polls are usually skewed and they have political bias. This particular one, I respect their work, but they have bias against the government. There are a couple that have a bias, that is a positive bias towards the government, and those are, I wouldn't trust those as well. So you have to take these particular polls with a grain of salt. The information is, it's just food for thought for myself. I just read it. I read a few others as well. However, at the end, it's just a particular data that you have to be analyzed, and it requires further review.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.